Hi guys, it's Gav here from dartsplanet.tv and we're going to carry on talking about different dart players and their rankings. In today's show, me and Chris from Ochepedia are going to be talking about James Wade. Great to have you back on the show again.
Thanks again, Gav.
What can you tell me about James Wade?
Well, James Wade is in an interesting position at the end of this year because if you think back to 2016, you might recall that he was the runner-up at the Grand Slam of darts.
Yep. So
that's a lot of money that he's going to have to defend between now and the World Championship.
Yep.
You know, dropping 40,000 pounds off of your Order of Merit is not a big problem if you're MVG and you've got a lead of £1 million
exactly
over the next person behind you in the Order of Merit. But James Wade has a lot of players very close behind him. And unfortunately for Wade, who's actually played quite well this year, the problem has just been he's played well in the wrong events.
Yeah.
You know, he had some fantastic performances on the World Series. Yeah. But of course, you don't make any ranking money from those events, so it doesn't make any difference to his rankings how he plays in those tournaments.
Right.
James Wade has a good almost 30% of his current Order of Merit total that's just going to fall off the board by the time the World Championship rolls around.
Is it as much as that, is it? How much is that again? 30% you say?
Yeah, it's almost 30%. I think it's about 29.5%.
That's loads, isn't it?
His current earnings will be lost by the World Championship if he can't find some tournaments where he can get a substantial cash and, you know, reach the quarterfinals, reach the semifinals. That's the sort of ranking. That's the sort of income he's going to need in order to stay, you know, potentially in the top 10, even in the top 16. It would be, you know, there's a chance he could fall out of the top 16 by the time of the Worlds just by virtue of all that money from 2016 disappearing.
The thing with James is he's a quality player, and we know he can do it. It's just it's going to be tough. Obviously, he's going to be a dad at the end of this month as well, isn't he, for the first time? And
yeah, that's fantastic. You know, wish him all the best.
Exactly, and it's fantastic.
You know, I think there's a lot to be I think there's a lot to be said about how having children affects your career. Yep. You know, I don't have any solid statistics on it, but you know, it's going to affect every player differently. And the fact about James Wade is the reason why he's stayed so high in the rankings for almost a decade and a half is just that he's one of the most consistent players on tour. You know, if you look at the list of players who have the fewest stray darts while throwing for treble 20, James Wade has been at the top of that list for, you know, a decade or more, and that's just an incredible achievement in its own right. But the fact is, being that kind of player where you're relying on hitting lots of hundreds and ton 40s, that would serve you very well in 2008 when you were playing a lot of games against Wayne Mardle and Terry Jenkins and Peter Manley. But it's a different world now. It is, and there's players who can hit 3 140s in 6 legs, no problem.
Look where Jeffrey Desvan's just come in. He's playing unbelievable darts from nowhere, really, isn't he?
Yeah, all these
of them.
Young, you know, especially the young players from the Netherlands. Yeah. You know, they play a completely different style of game to the one that James Wade plays. Yep. You know, if you look at a player like Desvan or Jermaine Wadamina, you know, they're switching all the time. They're very fast, aggressive players. Yeah. And that's just not who James Wade is. You know, he's dealing with a different caliber of players nowadays than he was 10 years ago, and consequently, it's just a bit more tricky for him to stay in the same position he's enjoyed for the past decade or more.
Yeah, he sort of stays level, you know, around the sort of high 90s sort of mark all the time. Then you get some players that go really high, then low, but he's always there and thereabouts. Do you think that James is going to be all right then, you know, Chris, with the tournaments coming up, or do you think that he possibly is going to drop further, obviously don't want to drop down, but obviously, you know, with him belittling on the way, you know, going to be a dad and different things, that extra pressure as well. You concerned?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, I wish him all the best for the birth of his son or daughter, but it's you know, unfortunately, the order of merit doesn't care when you have kids.
No, definitely not.
And you know, it's pretty much a guarantee that James Wade will be dropping in the order of merit the next couple of months. It's just a matter of how much he can limit the damage, because you know, I think you know, as well as he's played this year, it's going to be very difficult for him to match what he was able to achieve back in 2016.
Yeah, definitely.
If you look back at back 2 years ago, you've got that big runner-up prize from the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
You've also got
semi-final in what was it?
Yeah, semi-final in the European Championship. You know, a number of big cashes in Players Championship events. Last 32 at the Players Championship Finals, £5,000. I mean, that's. But the big one is the 50,000 from the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
And it's just very, you know, he's one of those players who can win matches of that length just by virtue of endurance alone.
I'm a huge fan of him. You know, it's just damage limitation, really, isn't it? How low? Not that I'm being negative here, because I am a massive Wadey fan. But how low could he drop? Do you know if it do go disastrously wrong?
Well, if things went really wrong and he didn't earn any money in the next couple of months, he could potentially fall as low as about 20.
Wow.
But that's absolute worst.
Yeah, worst case scenario. Yeah, he's going to pick money up.
Nothing between now and the World Championship.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen. He's too good a player for that. But it's just interesting to show that however good you are, and you know, you can slip, can't you?
Yeah, it's all about, you know, the order of merit rewards how consistently you can earn money. I mean, it'll be an interesting thing to look at about a year and 3 months from now, when Rob Cross has to contend with losing 400,000 pounds as ranking money all at once.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's sort of James Wade's problem, just on a much larger scale.
Yeah.
You know, any player who wins a big tournament or has a good showing has to contend with that 2 years later. They have to find money to replace an enormous chunk of their ranking money on the order of merit.
It gives you the stardom, and it gives you 2 years of not worrying too much. But like you say, as time go on, you've got to replace that money somewhere and do well. Thank you so much for coming on and telling us a little bit about the rankings and James Wade. Really appreciate it as always.
Always a pleasure, Dad. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I hope that everybody who's seen the video really enjoyed it. I love speaking to Chris. He has so many stats for us. As you know, I absolutely love it. As always, if you do like the video, please leave it a like and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Me and Chris will catch you next time. Bye.